Almost made it towards the shower, but God forbid, of course, get another idea as I'm shaving my head, trying to figure out if I leave it long or short. So I have it this way, or I have it this way. Because I was thinking, I'm saying, because this girl said we have so many DNA strands and so many things, and I'm thinking, this is the house of God. You have to be 14 or 13 to be able to go here. Because if you go here to this area, it takes 5 years of your life. Well, not in the other life, but it's in sense to understand the passage. That's the cross Christ, okay? You want to see you want to change? There you are. Here's your next set of DNA strands. You want to go into another world? You turn the cube again. Here's your next set of DNA strands. Because we never leave this world. All we do is we sit in this box over here. And you got a friend in this box and a friend in this box. And you're always going around, you know? You're always joking around. But you're inside my head. If I don't keep you to have attention, you will be fooling around with your kids. You won't pay attention to me. So you won't teach me and I won't teach you. I'm teaching you right now, not you who's watching. But he was in my head upstairs playing the game of who I am. It's me, but I'm here, but I'm down here, but I'm up there. I get a duplicate. I get a partner to work with me. He's a nice guy. Big old Jack. Jack of spades. You got something for the Jack of spades? I'm sorry. I'm a Jack of diamonds, and the only thing I drink is Big Red Turkey. Bring them on in. We're down in Vegas right now, right? You want to switch your DNA strands? Well, go ahead. You go find a combination that you get a line that'll be all red or something, and then once you get all of them, right, or you get this three, this three, this three, and this three. All four sides come. That gives you 36. And then, when you go into that world, God gives you 36. And then when you get into that world, they double up. 72 on top of you, against you. God is only inside your head. The 72 has to go against 144, the hours of the week, 216, 9 days, 6, 1, and 3, add God 24 hours, you have 240. 24 times 15 is 360 degrees. When you have a 0 at the end of something, multiply it by 15. How did the 0 get there? Your car is parked, eh? Didn't move in the last hour. It's in the same parking spot. We'll call it parking spot 0.0. But when you got there, you called it your first spot. When you left there, it was your last spot. Now it's 2, 2 and 0. Number 20, a 1010, an in and an out. A 360 by 72 degrees by 5 times. By 4 times, it's 288. 288 by 125 is 360. It's a whole round. So if you another round, it'd be 360 coming in and out. That'd be a 1010 round. But you've got to talk about this Rubik's Cube that keeps falling apart on me. The North Pole. The North Pole, the king. Oh my God. Look, the South Pole and the North Pole. You want to see the way it looks? It's like this. This is the way we're both sitting. This angle. Same way Jesus was sitting on the Last Supper. Of all these DNA sample cells we brought, there was only one that we needed. It was the one with all our brains in it. We didn't come down here to build a body. They built the body. We brought the brains to fit the body. Imagine your brains in the body of a tomcat. That tomcat would be out there going saying, "Hey, fuck, there's a lot of lions around. I'm a man. What am I doing in this lion suit?" How does this look? 2 loves, 2 5s. Hold on a second. 2 5s in love. 2 eyes. 1 eye, 2 eyes. Then you got here and here your mouth. I got to draw it better. You know what I'm saying? 5 and 2 do a lot of tricks. You know, they make a TV set and they also make a sailing boat. Did I show you that sailing boat? See this 52? I'm going to show you one up top. 52, the same one. You want me to show you how? I'll show you how. We'll hide it from you first so you don't see the whole trick. I'll only show you the end trick when I'm removing my pen. Alright? Oh, there goes Rubik's. Look. Same 52, 52, 52. I put this cup to hold it up. I put a little cap on top. Usually it's supposed to be like this. Anchors away! The Tilla Dahan. 2. There were 2. When there's anything, there's always 2. Either it's a similar or it's a perfect look-alike. What did I come on here to say about that Rubik's Cube and your strands? That Rubik's Cube has 54 pieces at 9 spaces each. Okay? That's 81 to a face times 6. That's 486. 486. If you take 486, it means a square building. 4 means a square building to 86. Okay? Now what you have to go is, since a building or a man stands for 6 because it's a standing item, you multiply the 4 by 6 because of the 4 corners that hold up the building. Well, they don't count what's inside. Without the 4 corners, you have nothing. Nothing holds up the floor. 4 by 6 is 24 plus 86 equals 110. Equals 110, the number of floors on the Twin Tower. If you go 6 by 24, equals 144. So it's really the time of the amount of 6 days. 6 days. 48 was over here, 486. 4 times 8 is 32. That's half the chessboard. 4 by 6 is 24, and those are the hours. 8 by 6 is 48. We have 2 of them at 110 floors. 220 is an item. Do you know what 220 does? 220 is a power outlet item, okay? 220 times the 0 is 330. It's always 15. 330 times the 0 is 115, 445. 44, 44th president, and 45th president, and the angle of the 45. We've got to do, every time you get to 45, it's another angle. When you have 6 presidents, not 6, 2 presidents make 90. 3 make 135 years. 4 makes 180 years. 5 makes 225 years. 225 years since 1776. 225 years since 1776 is 2001. 2001 to 2012 is 11. Spirit, angel, and man, the one who walks in the building. 225 is 9 times 25, or the 9 lives of the cat are up. The dog pound. The dog pound, 225 is up. The people in the presidency, they get to live with that 25, but we're not allowed. Because if we knew everything, we'd probably take over just like them. Wait, do you think we're any better? There's a lot of sick kids out there that are smoking dope and hanging out in the park and only want to make something good happen. And at the end, you get one bad egg inside a gang, and the gang gets, hey, let's take over. Nobody sees the reality of the truth, what lies in between us. So 225 years since 1776, 86, 96, 2001. Now we're in the 11th year from 2001. Now the 11th year is actually, we play with 3 dice. We play with more than 3 dice, but what it comes to is this and this, okay, can't happen unless this has to happen before this is the result of this. This is a result of this. Then you take the first one of this, okay, when the result is this. If the result is this, spirit, angel, and man had gotten away. If the result in this, we resolve the world. And they start over again from a new point. Where now we're living in a world where we're all in these cities that are all closed off like castles, and you can't use your car in the city. You have to walk to the store, and they run out of food half the time, and they need you around. And they need you around to work because they're growing. They're growing the world, and they need your help. They're growing it for the next world coming in. One's going to slip out, and another one's going to slip in. Now the question is, are they going to slip into the bodies of who we are and finish off what I started? I don't want that to happen. But it has to happen, that's fine. So 11 years. And instead of having the 12 that's the highest, you do 11 for the first 6, and then you do 11 for the next one. 11 years, 2012, 11 months, November. Now you question this. What is the perfection on this dice? 6 across from 1 is 7. 6 across from 4 is 10. 6 across from 2 is 8. 6 across from 5 is 11. The only one that's perfect is 6 and 4. So you don't need to use the 4, because if you use the 6, okay, you're ahead of the 5. You're not ahead of the 5. You're the twin towers standing up. You're the brain. You're the 4 corners of who you are, making it November 4th. 11-11-4. How do you get 11-11-4? Well, the number of Christ. 7 and 4 is 11. 7 and 4 is 11. And 4. 4, 7. 4, 7, 4. Number of Christ. 33. 4, 7, 4, 7, 9, 4. Because the 4 never hits go to jail. The mind is never in jail. It's how you partake in whatever it is. So God's got to be that 4. Why? Because he holds on to the 4 cornerstones that are our lives of his system. You don't need, all you need to say is it's 1 square, 2 squares, 5 squares, 8 squares, just like you say, I live in a 3.5. Well, God does the same thing. And all he does is extend out his Rubik's Cube, and all you got to do is turn the DNA strand and sign the contract with God and tell him you love him, because if you don't love him, when you come here, you'll get lost. And then you come here and you play a game. Or you choose a place where you can be an avatar. Or you can have no sex. You can't take off your clothes. But you're alive forever. Imagine that. You can never take off your clothes and you're alive forever. Holy fuck. What do? Is there any music inside the house? The other thing I was showing before is that Adam and Eve, Adam, add a man. Add a man to a man already, because man was made, man was God. So he added Eve. Eve had to leave. She was Steve. Because when he added a man and made the woman, he only gave her the cycle. So she ended up living man's life, woman's life, and the cycle. But she saw the man's life in a woman's point of view, and it's not the same. Another kind of strand from somewhere else in God's games. That's all. But for some reason, as much torture as I've had in this world, I still like to come and just find my beauty, that I should be the beast forever. The beast, and not to say of the burden, because it is not of a burden, it's the bird's den, the nesting place where you take care. But the birds, they let their little ones take off, don't they? But the ducks are a little bit different. Seem to follow around their kids for a little bit. Quack, quack. Do you ever notice in Bugs Bunny that the Daffy Duck has got a, what's it called around his neck? Daffy Duck, can't talk with a big beak. All representation of who we are. So you saw the DNA strand, and because of this book, June 1969, June to July to August to September to October to November, 5 months. 5 goes all around the dice. You want to know what it talked about? What is leadership? The feminine mistake? The bargain in your tank? Moss Bros Sweets, the British. Put your mind on the spot. My unforgettable character. The new look in selling. You see what they're talking about? The new look in selling. Let's go into orbit. Hope for the brain-injured children. To get more out of the New York World Fair. To get more out of the New York's World Fair. This says 1965 on it. So this is 35, 45, it's 47 years old, the number of Christ. 74 is the number of time. When Christ comes up in time, things go down. 74, 47 equals 121, 11, 11. And this year, it ended up in April. You got 120 and 121 in April. 241, 82, 91, and 82. 282 is 82 is 91. That's a strand. 91 is the complete strand, according to the cards. Unless you don't count. No, you cannot. No, you have to count the 4. The 5 is 9. You can't count the 5. You count the 4, but they all have to be counted. You're only supposed to count the 4, the 7, and the 9. Totals 20. Why you count those cards? You have to count the 5 anyways. The 5, okay, this card is the spirit card. There's a dot in the center. The ace, the 3, and the 5, and the 9 all have dots in the center. But only 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, which totals 39, 3 by 13, have the 4 corners of the cards. The 4 corners, oh, these cards are no good. Give me another deck of cards here. Bring me down another deck of cards to the table, please. I want to play with some cards here. There you go. I pick my own cards. If I play poker, I make the game myself. I choose the game, I choose the cards, and I find out what's coming next on reason for what got mixed up in the deck. The 4 has 4 corners, and the 6, and the 7, not the 3, the 9, the 10. I didn't bring you the 8. I should bring you the 8. I still want you to wait. There you go. Okay. One, 2, 3, 4. Then you have these. 4 and 4. Barack Obama. Nobody owns. This is the 2 moons, my friend. Okay. Herbert Hoover, 8-8. Hoover Dam. The 8, the 6, has the same 2, except over here and over here, but in the center there's no moons. Okay. Here and here. The 4 and the 6. The 4 and the 6. 1, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3. But you don't do 1, 3 in this world. They're upside down. Card goes up the other way. The 5 and the 6. 2 on the top, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, 2 on the bottom. They're all the same. This is the heart. This is the E. This is the train. This is Harry Potter. See the 2 cards? 11. After these 2 cards, the first moon comes. That's why the 11 and 6 and 76 is different. Because 6 and 5 stay together forever. The 9 and the 6. Same 4 corners. The only thing that's different is the positions. These 2 are not in the same position. This is 1, 3, 7, 9. This is 5. And then this is 1, 3, 7, 9. The middle one is missing here. This one in the center is a 5. It's the house it's in. They repeat their numbers. They're on different floors. But 9 and 10, 9 has also the same center as the 5. But if you want to look through the cards, Here's the ace. The center is the ace. So we all know that that ace that has 1 is the same value as the 5. This 5 value card is worth 25. That means this ace that you're looking at has a value of 25. Because everything works in 45 and 25 degrees and 10 degrees. The 3 is up and down in the center. There are no other cards that go up and down the center unless the 2 is here. 2 and 3 go together because it was the ace card that hopped inside the 3 card. And then the 2 card hopped inside the 3 card, and this is what we had left. The 1 never goes away. It's a guardian post. Now you have a 4 card. But you can't make the 4 card. Because once you have that card, now you got the whole interior. 2, 5, and 8, you got the egg. 2, 5, and 8. If you put 2 on 5 and 8 on all of them, all it looks like is 1 8. But if you chop off the bottom line, it looks like 3 aces on top of each other. The 7 and the 8 are the moons. The moons. This one has 2 moons. This one has 1 moon. This is 1 world. This is the 2 worlds. See in the center where the 8 makes a nice round applause? Then there's the last card. I wish I had a 10 of diamonds. Oh, I do. I have a 10 of diamonds. I have 10 of diamonds. Come on, markers. Boy, am I old style. Holy crap, I'm working with square paper and bubble rounds. A bubble round is a thing I taught. It's put your hand on the paper and make a natural round turn, as if you're part of the paper. I was taught that in my dream. Okay, I'll try to see if I can do this. I really can't. I'm not doing what I wanted to do. I had one card that I did. It came out so well. So I'm trying to. Didn't come out well. It came out really shitty. It's supposed to look like a bee's nest. Okay, it's supposed to say 1-0. You see the 1-0, the one here and the O over here. That's what it does with this one in the center. The top ones. The top points you go across. Center points. The other ones you go down. Just follow the rules of the card. At the same time, if I really want, and I can make it into a boogeyman. Trapped inside the 10 card. 0. This is how you see through this light. This is the light of you. It goes right through your bones. See his arm here and his arm over here. It goes up his shoulder, his head. Yeah, I can make it into anything, but you're supposed to use your imagination. The other thing I wanted to show you was this. See the triangle? Look, it's a ring, like a golden ring. It's a number 4. You can even design it a little bit and turn it into a little bonhomme with a big beak. He's got a beak, he's got his eyes, and he's got this in his mouth. Here's the jack. See the jack? Is it a jack? Wait a second. Wait a second. No, it's a 4. These are 2 ribs of Adam. They're 2 letters in Hebrew. The real language for me, because English is used in over the entire earth, forget about who speaks it. Where it's used, the way. If it started the first way by the Queen, and it's all about the last 100 years because it's all about our last generation, then then it's not the Hebrew R. It's all the R's, from Greek to Hebrew to Roman, all the way down. The last R sounds like AR. Well, A and R is the first letter in the 18th. Add that together, you got the S. You got ARS. S in the first letter, because now you got the S, and it's a different number, is 1 in 19. Now you got 20. 2 times 0 is 30. 3 times 0 is 45. 45 is 1/4 of who you are and the mind that's good enough to close your eyes in 10 seconds. You're going to be back in another world that you've never seen before, that you never really left. Raphael, 7286. All in a day's work for my book, of course. Waiting to be noticed one day for all the work I have put in and for all the help I have gotten from the people around the world. And I appreciate every comment and every like. I know it's a dagger in my heart when I don't see anything, but it's all in the game. I'm not as nervous as I used to be. I learned not to be nervous by seeing nothing every day. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, went to, okay, just let it be. It's just that people saw, one person saw, well, there you go. Just gotta take it like you're going fishing. You just throw the rod in the water, and you pull it in slowly, and you pull it in slowly, and you think you're gonna trick a fish that knows the whole life of the lake to grab your worm. And then you got divorced. Raphael, 7286. Do you understand what I said? She grabbed the wrong worm, or you gave her the wrong worm, and then you got divorced because the first worm is in your head. That sperm is in your head still talking for you. I think God owns the sperm. It talks for you, and you let it talk right down till you go nuts and you do nutty things and you turn around and you don't like her. So bang, right away in your tree you got a black spot that says, I don't like her and I slept with her anyways. Like, I'm not going to like when I get up to God and I take a look and I go, whoa! Holy fuck, this is all my family tree. Where the hell am I? Oh, I'm in hell? What? You're not in hell? Oh, I'm not in hell. So where am I? I'm home. But this looks like hell. Well, that's the best we can do. Because we brought you here, now we moved you over to the better side. There is no upstairs. There is no upstairs. Don't you get it? There may be nothing at all. They had to give us a dream so that we would live, that they can continue on bringing people and people and people and people. Even if they're knocking them off, they have all the serum. They can do what they want. Tell you about gods and religions and just, and big computers just to bring your hype so they can hype with you. Well, let me tell you one thing. If they're here and following a number system that is easily picked off after looking back the last 150 years, that means they're running in a secondary system. So that means somebody else is running with them. They're just one part of the machine that tries to get this earth and water and air to learn. Even though they manipulate us, it's not really that they want to manipulate us. They have to do these things. It's the system. It's a time. It's the matrix. It's the computer. It has to go at a certain speed. They have no choice. This computer can't do any better. That's where Microsoft came in. Life is a machine. It got created and extended. It was eternal. It wasn't eternal, but it was eternal to the seed. A seed that made us think. Ever thought of it? Johnny Appleseed, bring an apple to your teacher. Pinocchio never made it to school and had his apple all the time with his one book. Bugs Bunny, Pinocchio. New York Big Apple. Now they got the Apple Store. Now they got the Apple computers. They put 25 different apples on the market with 75 different diseases, and we still eat it. We are always advancing. Don't you get it? You're 90 today. 50 years ago, they lived till 65, to 54, to 52. They were all dead at 33. What, were they going to stop? They're on a mission for eternal. Because God's not the only one out there. but he's got the trick. They all have to share a space and do their thing. Otherwise, space will go over and freeze them all. And the only time they'll come out is maybe in a few million years when the ice thaws. Or maybe a few 100 million years. But you would never know it. Because if it freezes you just like that, by the time it opens you, you think you just got up and went to sleep. It's not easy. It's crazy. It's crazy. The element of the thought of the distance of time and the actual time that it is so different. To rush and drive your car fast is to leave the matrix speed. The tires in the car were balanced for the highway, not for the racetrack. That's why when you get onto water and you drive too quick, you have to watch more, even if it's a natural element and you're very good. It's hard for the element of the car. Now, if you have a race car and you're driving 150 miles an hour, fine. But you got 900 million different people on the road that don't know how to drive. Our driving schools are very poor. Very, very poor. They do not teach right from left. Right from left is not wrong. It's just different. If you look one way, you lean another way. If you get on your Harley, you know how to flow with the go. And that's another thing. Harley Davidson, Orange County Chopper, Hell's Angels, all the bikers of the world. All the bikers of the world. Come on, we got to bring love into this too, my friends. They got two wheels on the road. They have to keep the stability with themselves. They're listening to the putt-putt of their motor, and they're in heaven. Forget about what anybody has done. People have done because of what has been done in the element of their face. Some people turn around and pay it back. If we didn't have certain people in this world that did ugly things, we probably wouldn't be around the streets after 9 o'clock at night. It was continuously pushed on by those who were entrapped and out of jail. But still, they didn't teach them the law to make everything equality. They told them there's more laws and more laws. We don't need more laws. Do you want to see how many laws we should have? This is the laws we should have. That's it. There's 21 on each one. 21 multiplied by 4. There should be 84 laws on this one and 84 laws on this one. And then there'd be the 42 in between to attach them. 21 by 4, 84 is 7 times 12. And 84, 168. And 42, oh, and 30 to connect them. 42 is the angle, but yeah, we'd have to put them on the angle like this. So we'd have 168, 169, 170, and 40 would be 210. Alphabet, 210 times 15, or 2 times 10 if you want, is 20. But now you have to go 2 times 15 is 30, but I want to do it the other way. 21 times 0 equals to 315. ACE, ACE. If you do 135 instead of 315, 3 by 15 is 45. It's one angle. One angle of 5 for the total cube of time. We had 315. Well, let's look at it this way. Okay. 135, 135 degrees and 135 degrees on each side, like this, shows the angles, okay, that come down from the top. Those are the angles. They end up in the 9, they end up in the 9 and 7 on your telephone, or they end up on your clock around 5 o'clock, 4:30, and the other side, it'd be 5 o'clock, 4:30, which would be 7:30, about 7:30 and 4:30, 3 hours in between, 1.5 hours each. That angle of 7 and 9 equals to the one spirit of 6, which means a birth. That angle, add 3 for the birth to connect the center. It was 270 plus 3 plus the 4 corners is 277. Starting on the 4 corners of January 4th to October 4th, 277 days. How many days left over? 88. You go around the Monopoly board twice, And then you end up, if I believe it's on chance. Am I right or wrong? End up on chance? I don't know where it is. Hold on a second. Let me see where I end up with. Okay, let me see. So I went 88 on Monopoly. I get back to Go, and then I get up to Vermont. So everything ends. It ends at Vermont. 88. Herbert Hoover. Nevada, California, then all the way over to Vermont. Okay, this is just something on the Monopoly board I'm looking at. I can keep going on. I can keep going on. I can keep going on. 3 by 5 is 15. You have the egg again. 15 is the letter O. And it all ends there. Do you know why? Because if you separate the 1 from the 5, it becomes the A letter and the E letter, and we start all over again. We go A to E, that makes it 15. We go A to I, that completes the corner. 2 different scenarios. A world, B world. Raphael 7286. Should I end it here? I don't know, but I'm just going to show you one letter. The M letter seems to get really vicious once it connects the 2 worlds. The M says love. L says her. M says love. Her love. N is the cross of Christ. O is the passage. Then you pick up your one spirit with the 6 angles that she connects you to on your Magen David. You're in the center of the Magen David. She connects everything up around you, and you're inside your own maze. O, P, then there's Q, which is the one spirit of 7, which is the moon of God. That comes in. There's not one moon that comes in. They interchange the moons. There's a bunch of moons. I still believe that we're using the moons of Jupiter and Saturn. And wherever you think we are, we ain't. Whatever you see at a close distance, but you don't see far. You see better in your house than you see outside. You understand better than most can understand. Raphael, in the goodness of the book, of course. A book with no name. A book with maybe one day to fame, but never in despair, and despair is to shame. It's all in the words and the games people play. The phrases, the games, and the sports. From documentary books to the Alaskan Ocean, to North Bay, to Sudbury, to I pray for those in Wisconsin and Green Bay, across the plains as she may. I've ridden down old ghostly town of 93. The time was on my side before I passed over Hoover's Dam. I'd like to go back and drive over Hoover's Dam one day. I was a truck driver and I went down to Hoover's Dam and I drove right over that. Highway 93, 90 and 30, 120, 3, 123, and 9, 132. The reverse of 123 is 39 and 93. So let's write that in the book because that's another point. 39 and 93. Yes, some of the easy stuff I haven't been doing. That just changes the position of the number, but don't worry, you're still in jail. Unless you play your cards right and box the trifecta for the $6. Box your mind up in totality with your body. Understand how the vibration comes in, and that's a hard thing to understand. But in all and all is all, number 4 is the way to go, I think. Somehow number 4 is the way to go. But in this world, we're 4 and 6. We end up being 5 and 6 because now we have to follow the laws of the society. So I do. I stay home. I drive slow. Drive good. I drive fast. But I make sure I'm going slow before, so when I start to drive fast, it feels like I'm flying and I'm barely doing 45 kilometers an hour. It's all in the mind, my friends. Listen to the music. Turn yourself into something else. Someone who wants to learn even though it's so frustrating, and why am I fucking learning it, eh? Why am I learning it? All those on 2 wheels and 18 wheels, all those pulling puppy dogs. I just want to remind you of one thing. Take a look at the weather coming in to Wisconsin. The puppy dog is a poodle. If you take a look, I left a mark, a map. It's a poodle. The Great Lakes. It seems like it's a heart. They made it into a pumping heart in the Great Lakes. So what is Niagara Falls? Where is it coming from? Is it a great history, or how long do they take to build it before they move the rock where it is? Or is that where the rock showed up? God made it and says, okay, make the dams work. Go underneath, make the water turn. Here's how to do it. And we got to figure out the rest. I like you. I love you all. I hate you all. I don't care about anybody, and I care about everybody, because there's a time and a place when some of these are going to take place. And at the same time, I never really hate anybody at all. Hate is more of a word that says, try to get an order so we can find the love. Hate is only an understanding that there's a difference of an understanding, but it's not really to hate. Because if you did hate, the word hate also has hate in it. The word hate for the French, nobody seems to pronounce the H in French. That's pretty funny, eh? They call them the frogs, and frogs hop on the lily pads. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Because the 4 dice is not a 4 dice. The 4 dice doesn't exist. This dice is this dice turned sideways, this way and this way. That's all it is. It's a different angle from a different angle. See the different angle? You understand? It creeps up the 6 and the 4. Where is that 6? It's right there. Going to the 4. Where is that 6? And then the outside is 1, and that's man's spirit. Anyways, I was here just to brush up on a few things, not to really give any schooling. As I always say, education, but I'm not trying to teach what I am trying to teach. I'm just trying to show you what I do. In the book, of course, of no name, The Freedom of the Myth of Zazarek, under the constellation of Pegasus, and the lovely, beautiful woman who gave me all this information, she never left her name, she only left her number, 7286. I share it with you. You can give her a call anytime you want. Thank you.